It's 4 o'clock in Norfolk, Virginia. It's noontime in North Pole, Alaska. Part of the tragedy that has been the Democrats' domination in government and the media is the laughingstock they have made America. Our enemies no longer fear us, and our allies no longer respect us. Who can blame them? When Americans actually cast votes that lead to their loss of liberty, security, and prosperity, different reactions are elicited. Our enemies and allies pity us. They mock us. They sneer at and plot against us. The damage done by Joe Biden's trade for an anti-American WNBA player may have just painted a target on every left-wing American. I'll explain without fear or favor. The Chris Salcedo Show starts right now. Happy Friday, everybody. Merry Christmas and welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show on Newsmax. For most of our history, our people assumed the I's were being dotted and the T's were being crossed. We had a system that protected our liberty, security, and prosperity regardless of the party in power. In fact, the only place we could imagine the incompetence and anti-American policies that have been on display inside the Biden administration was in the movies. Those days are gone. A buffoon as president is only funny in the movies. I am laughing so I don't cry in today's preamble. I was sent a video montage from a movie from the 1990s. It was called Hot Shots Part 2, the second movie in that franchise, if memory serves. It starred Charlie Sheen and the late, great Lloyd Bridges. It gave Americans a glimpse of what a functional incompetent might look like if he ever attained the office of president.
Nice. Okay, I'm all right, no problem. Gotcha. Let's go get the door, huh? Well, Walters, looks like we've got our saboteur.
That's your wife, sir. If Edwards gets wind of this, he'll use it against you in the campaign. He'll try to prove that you're incompetent.
I can prove that as well as he can. There's the target area.
It's Minnesota, sir.
Oh, man, that's the genius of my plan. We don't have to traipse all over the world to fight. We can do it right here at home. Get us some good fishing while we're at it.
Sir, the enemy is over there.
Then we'll fly them over here. They can bring the relatives. We'll teach them to ice skate. Do I have to think of everything?
Most folks that go in for that kind of comedy thought that was hilarious. I did. But 2 decades later, when Joe Biden assumed the Oval Office with real-life incompetence in running our government, folks aren't laughing. That hasn't stopped today's comedians from trying, though.
I must say, sir, you look really good.
Thank you. And yes, that's all that really matters, Jack. Jeff.
Well, you should look good, but you also have to do a good job running the country.
Oh, of course. That's as easy as riding a bike. And as president, did you know that I have done the impossible?
No, sir. What did you do?
I fell up a flight of the stairs. 3 times in 10 seconds. First senator to ever do that, President.
The Brittney Griner trade illustrates how Americans shouldn't be laughing, but instead be very worried about the trajectory of this country under the rule of left-wing extremists. The United States gave up the so-called Merchant of Death in the trade for Brittney Griner. The Merchant of Death is responsible for numerous deaths in the West and the United States, providing deadly weaponry to kill our people. Yesterday, Biden's new brain revealed Joe Biden and the White House's opinion of Brittney Griner.
President Biden keeps his promises, and today he fulfilled a deeply important promise to bring Brittney Griner home to a family that loves her, a team that misses her, and a country that has marveled at her strength and courage. Brittney's safe return home is the product of months and months of painstaking negotiations. Throughout her ordeal, we saw Brittney, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist for Team USA, demonstrate strength, courage, and dignity. As the president said this morning, she represents the best of America.
She represents the best of America. Hold that thought. Here's the outgoing speaker, Nancy Pelosi, weighing in on the Griner release.
Today, she is free. free to go home to her wife on the same day that we passed the Marriage Protection Act. So we are Respect for Marriage, the Respect for Marriage Act. So we're just, her freedom is a gift to the world, to all of us.
So, leading Democrats say that Griner represents the best of America and her release is a gift to the world. Let's review, shall we? Brittney Griner is a WNBA star who was arrested on drug charges in Russia. She not only has a criminal record in Mother Russia, but she also has one in the United States. It's a matter of record that Griner has a history of physically abusing women. Back in 2015, Brittney Griner pled guilty in a domestic violence case involving her then fiancée, Gloria Johnson. Oh, and Griner hates America. That's why that fact is trending. How do people arrive at that conclusion? Griner has gone on record. According to the Arizona Republic, Griner said this of America's national anthem, quote, "I honestly feel we should not play the national anthem during our season. I think we should take that much of a stand," end quote. Griner also said, quote, "I personally don't think it belongs in sports, the anthem. Black people didn't have rights at that point at the creation of the Star-Spangled Banner. It's hard disrespecting a song that didn't even represent all Americans when it was first made," end quote. This is who Democrat leaders say is a gift to the world and represents the best of America. Now, who do we leave behind? U.S. Marine by the name of Paul Whelan. CNN talked to him.
I have to say I am greatly disappointed that more has not been done to secure my release, especially as the 4-year anniversary of my arrest is coming up. I was arrested for a crime that never occurred. I'm happy that Brittney is going home today and that Trevor went home when he did. But I don't understand why I'm still sitting here. My bags are packed. I'm ready to go home. I just need an airplane to come and get me.
English teacher Mark Fogel is still rotting in a Russian jail tonight as well. Initial reaction has universally condemned this trade. Micah Parson, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, said as much in a tweet until he was blasted by anti-American cheerleaders on social media. They reminded Parsons that left-wingers do not tolerate divergent thought. It's not permitted, certainly, in the anti-American NFL, so he apologized on the premise that Joe Biden and his regime had no choice, that it was Griner or nothing. But is that true? Original reporting from so-called news organizations like NBC indicated that Team Biden had a choice between U.S. Marine or Griner, and that Team Biden chose Griner. But just like reporting on the Paul Pelosi incident, NBC did a quick about-face when their reporting contradicted what I suspect was disinformation coming from the left-wing White House. One Democrat has gone on record questioning the competency, safety, and wisdom of the Griner trade. Democrat Senator Robert Menendez from New Jersey issued a statement that read in part, quote, "My heart also goes out to the families of other American citizens in Russian prisons and labor camps, including Paul Whelan. They have my renewed commitment and determination to use the power of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to secure Mr. Whelan's safe return and to continue fighting for the release of all Russian political prisoners like Vladimir Kara-Murza and all other unjustly detained Americans," end quote. So the Democrat regime gave up the Merchant of Death, endangered the lives of the people of the West and America for an anti-American WNBA player that checked boxes for the Democrats' political games. The Democrats left behind a pro-American U.S. Marine and a highly valued school teacher. All of America's enemies now know that Joe Biden will move heaven and earth to rescue Americans who hate America to bring them back to the USA. This makes leftists prime targets abroad for these bad actors. The Democrats on Team Biden are practiced at making this country less safe and leaving our people behind. Our enemies and adversaries, along with the majority of Democrats, are smiling ear to ear tonight and having a good laugh. But those of us who live our American values and oppose our nation's steep decline don't find it at all funny.